Buongiorno a tutti da parte del collettivo di Modena. Stamattina, guidati dalle parole della nostra madre, mediteremo sul canale Centrale.
Good morning to everybody from the collective of Modena. This morning, guided by our beloved Mother's words, we will meditate on the central path.
Facciamo namaskar ai piedi di loto di nostra madre, ci alziamo la Kundalini e ci diamo i 7 bandhan.
We can do namaskar at our Mother's lotus feet, rise Kundalini and give 7 bandhans.
Portiamo l'attenzione sul Muladhara.
Attention on Muladhara.
Shri Ganesha è colui che vi dona la saggezza. È la saggezza che diventa Dharma, che diventa parte del vostro essere. Diventate saggi. Questa saggezza è una qualità innata dei Saggya Yogi, perché anche in loro Shri Ganesha è stato risvegliato. Il Saggya Yogi diventa quindi una persona molto saggia. E che cosa realizza nella sua saggezza? Raggiunge l'equilibrio, l'ascesa, e capisce quindi che tale ascesa avviene per il suo benessere, per il bene del suo paese e del mondo intero. Capisce l'importanza di Saggya Yoga. Senza questa saggezza non potrebbe.
Ganesha is a giver of wisdom. He is a giver of wisdom. Means just his wisdom becomes just a Dharma, becomes a part and parcel of your being. This wisdom is an innate quality of anyone who is in Saja Yoga, because in him also Sri Ganesha has been awakened. So he becomes a wise person, very wise. And with wisdom, what does he achieve? He achieves a balance, a proper ascent, and also he understands that this ascent is for his benevolence, for the benevolence of his country, benevolence of the whole world. He understands the importance of Saja Yoga. Without this wisdom, one cannot understand.
Diciamo il mantra a Sri Ganesha.
Mantra Sri Ganesha.
Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Deve Namo Namah. Portiamo l'attenzione all'osso sacro.
Attention on the sacred bone.
Ringraziamo nostra madre, la nostra Kundalini, la Gauri, per averci concesso la realizzazione e dobbiamo sapere che dobbiamo risvegliarla in ogni momento. Dobbiamo espanderla ogni momento e dobbiamo venerarla in ogni momento, così da mantenere sempre intatte la nostra realizzazione e la nostra ascesa. E questa ascesa che trasformerà tutti gli esseri umani.
We have to thank our mother, our Kundalini, the Gauri, for giving us realization and to know that we have to every time awaken her. Every time we have to expand her, and every time to worship her, so that we always keep our realization intact and keep our ascent intact. It is this ascent which is going to transform all the human beings.
Diciamo il mantra a Shri Mahagauri.
Mantra Sri Mahagauri.
Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahagauri Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Deve Namo Namah. Portiamo l'attenzione sul Nabi.
Attention on the Nabi chakra.
Nel Dharma la cosa principale da stabilizzare doveva essere l'equilibrio. Era un'abitudine della gente, quella di andare agli estremi in ogni cosa. Quindi Vishnu creò un equilibrio in noi. Il primo principio del Dharma fu di creare equilibrio. Se una persona non ha equilibrio, non può conseguire la propria ascesa. Molto semplice.
In this Dharma, whatever was to be established was to be established. Balance was a habit with people to go to extremes in anything. So, he created a balance within us. The first principle of Dharma was to create balance. If a person doesn't have a balance, then he cannot achieve his ascent. As simple as that.
Diciamo il mantra a Shri Lakshmi Vishnu.
Mantra to Sri Lakshmi Vishnu.
Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Lakshmi Vishnu Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Deve Namo Namaha. Portiamo l'attenzione sul canale centrale.
Attention on the central path.
Shri Malakshmi è il potere della nostra evoluzione e soltanto grazie al suo potere ci siamo evoluti fino a diventare esseri umani e, grazie al potere di suo figlio, diverremo persone più elevate. L'importanza di Mahalakshmi è enorme per tutti i Saja Yogi, poiché lei porta al culmine, al completamento, il nostro principio di Vishnu, che è il principio della nostra evoluzione. È colei che dà il Dharma, ci dà il Dharma e ci dà la verità. È lei che ci mette in relazione col nostro cervello. L'intero sistema del cervello è il sistema di Mahalakshmi.
She is the power of our evolution, and by her power, only we have risen to be human beings, and by her son's power, we are going to become higher people. Thus, the importance of Mahalakshmi is very great for all the Saja Yogis, because she guides our Vishnu Tattva to its culmination, to its completion, which is the principle of our evolution. Thus, she is a giver of Dharma. She gives us the Dharma, and she is the giver of the truth. She is the one who relates us to our brain. The whole brain's system is Mahalakshmi's system.
Diciamo il mantra a Shri Mahalakshmi.
Mantra to Shri Mahalakshmi.
Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahalakshmi Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Deve Namo Namaha. Portiamo l'attenzione sull'Agnya Chakra.
Attention on the Agnya Chakra.
Mahalakshmi si è incarnata come Maria, portando con sé suo figlio, che era Gesù Cristo. Ella volle che lui attraversasse questo sesto centro per tutti, e così egli dovette assumere la forma sottile di Chaitanya. Egli era la forma sottile di Chaitanya, per questo camminava sulle acque, ma alla fine divenne Chaitanya. Ora questo concetto è una realtà, ma chi ancora non sia un'anima realizzata, chi non abbia percepito le vibrazioni, non può concepirlo.
Mahalakshmi incarnated as Mary, and she brought her son, who was Jesus Christ, and she wanted him to cross this sixth center for everybody else. And that is how he had to become the subtle form of Chaitanya. He was the subtle form of Chaitanya, the way he walked on the water. But ultimately he became Chaitanya, and he crossed over by leaving his body as subtle. Now this concept is a reality. But for another person who is not yet a realized soul, you have not felt the vibrations, he cannot conceive it.
Diciamo il mantra a Shri Maria Gesù.
Mantra to Shri Maria Gesù.
Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Maria Gesù Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Deve Namo Namah. Mettiamo l'attenzione sul Sahasrara.
Attention on Sahasrara.
Invitiamo Shri Mataji nel nostro Sahasrara.
We invite Shri Mataji in our Sahasrara.
È qualcosa di veramente grande quel che accade quando assorbite il nutrimento del vostro Sahasrara. La prima cosa è che vi distaccate da voi stessi. Potete vedere voi stessi, il vostro passato. Potete rendervi conto da soli di tutte le cose sbagliate che avete fatto, di come avete frainteso la gente. Tutto ciò, cose sbagliate, fraintendimenti, talvolta vi allontana molto da voi stessi. Ma una volta che la luce sia sopraggiunta e il Sahasrara sia nutrito, in quella luce vedete con chiarezza tutto il male che avete fatto a voi stessi.
With that reception, with that, we should say the nourishing of your Sahasrara. What happens is something really great. One thing happens is that you get detached from yourself. You can see yourself. You can see your past. You can understand yourself. That you have been doing so many wrong things and misunderstanding people. This sometimes takes you too far away from yourself. But once this light comes and the Sahasrara is nourished, in that light you see clearly what wrong you have been doing to yourself.
Diciamo insieme il terzo mantra del Sahasrara.
The third mantra of Sahasrara.
Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Sahasrara Swamini Moksha Pradaini Mataji Shri Nirmala Deve Namo Namah. Mantenendo l'attenzione sul Sasrara, ascoltiamo la nostra amata madre, Shri Mataji.
With the attention on Sahasrara, we listen our beloved mother, Shri Mataji.
As you know, the Mahalakshmi principle lies within all of you in the center. And once you are fed up with the falsehood and also with the hypocrisy of people, you start seeking the truth within. That's how a new category of people are born, who are called as seekers, sadhakas. They are very different from others. They don't care for any material gain or any power, position. They want to seek the truth. And this category is the one you are. And that's why you have come to Sahaja. This comes from your past lives also. For many people, I think it's their past life which has brought the seeking in them. Also the affluence through which you have gone, you got fed up with it and you are seeking the truth. So now, first of all, to understand Mahalakshmi principle, we must know that we have two other channels into which we can jump. One is the left, another is the right. And it depends on what sort of a background you had in this life. Because of your background in last life, you have come to the right path. But last life is being covered by this life, the surroundings, the country in which you are born, your friends, parents, the society in which you lived has dominated you in so many ways that the Mahalakshmi principle doesn't express itself in that full power. We should really suck in everything else and put you onto the throne of a Sahaja. Now, for a Sahaja to keep his Mahalakshmi principle all right, has to always introspect, not to look at others, but to introspect. What am I doing? Am I in the left side or on the right side? Which side am I? What side I am following? Am I in the center? Now, how will you judge? The best is to feel your vibrations. Feel your vibrations. But sometimes you go so far to the left or to the right that you just do not feel vibrations, your Mahalakshmi principle is not working. Then you go on. It's like a complete derailment, I should say, a kind of a slope on which you just go on falling onto that. So all these conditionings we should watch out in ourselves and in others. How we have got these problems that we slip out from the central path. Imagine a train is going on a proper railway track and suddenly it starts moving this way or that way. So where will it end up? Into destruction. But you have a way of arranging that this derailment can be brought back to the middle path. So in a very detached way, if you look at yourself like a witness and see for yourself, not about others. Even when I give lectures, people start saying, oh, mother is saying about somebody else. No, I am saying about you, yourself. So you watch out that are you in the center or are you going to the left or to the right. First of all, those who are in the center should not have any physical problems, should be able to completely cure themselves. If not others, they should be able to cure themselves. Secondly, a person who is in the center is a very peaceful person. He is never angry. He might put up a show that you are angry, but he doesn't get involved into anger or any emotions whatsoever. He just watches, and he can act. He can act to be in that feeling of temper, also lust, greed, anything, but just to act, because sometimes this acting is needed, so he can use it. But you should be sure, first of all, that you are completely detached. So first of all, before acting, you must become a master of acting. And for that, you have to become yourself. If you become yourself, then you are a master and you can see where are you going. Now, the difference between a Sahajogi and a Sahajogi who is like this, as you say, is this, that he is capable of going to the left or to the right. They are not solidly Sahajogis. And they go on like this and there is no progress. Imagine any aeroplane which is wobbling like that will be on the ground only. Nobody will be able to put it up in the air, because God knows when will it fall down. So for any machinery, we have to fix it up properly first before we start working it out. So to fix up our Mahalakshmi principle, you have to see that your physical being is alright, is normal, no problem. I'm not meaning the modern ways of looking at health, but that you should feel healthy and happy. You should feel that there's no problem with your physical being. But if you are a complaining type, I am here paining, I am paining there, then there's something wrong with you. This is the first criteria, that you are in the center. Then your attention should be more towards nature, how the nature is, how it is blossoming, how it is working out. It should be towards the sky, stars and things, just to enjoy all the creation that is around, just to enjoy it. That's an enjoyment which is really so surprisingly deep. When you see something beautiful scene or something, you go to a very beautiful place, then a kind of a joy that pours in you from your sahasrara, that also you must experience. Also you must experience your thoughtless awareness. That is, when you look at something beautiful, you should suddenly become thoughtless. Just start seeing it. The whole joy will start pouring on you. All of you can know yourself very well, because now you are quite sensitive and you have your own centers enlightened by Mahalakshmi principle. The Kundalini has definitely enlightened your Mahalakshmi principle. So you can always make out what my chakras are, how are they catching, where are they catching. Instead of avoiding that, you just work it out. What's the problem? Where is the problem? Once you work it out, then you'll be surprised that as soon as your desire goes inward, the Kundalini itself will gush through and she will cleanse your chakras. As I was telling you, we do not know our powers. Only one thing you have to do is to desire. You have to desire that let my vibrations be alright, let my chakras be cleared out, let me be in the center, in the balance. Just you have to desire. I mean, it's such a simple thing to desire. But that also we cannot do. Our desires are something else, not what we have to be. Just you have to desire that let me be a clean Sahajogi. Let me be a solid Sahajogi. There are mediocres who can never be. I am not talking about them. But so many can be very high up, can be very high up in Sahajoga. But their desires are not yet being fully manifested. That is a damping effect of so many things I have told you. So, if supposing you have to catch the plane, then you don't get down on the way somewhere and stay out. In the same way, when your Kundalini has to rise, you can see everything that's happening, but keep yourself aloof because you have to reach your point, and that is through this Mahalakshmi principle. It nourishes our brain, our intellect, everything it nourishes. This Mahalakshmi principle, above all, it is the balancing. It balances. If you are overdoing something, then it gives you a kind of a push. If you are not doing anything, again, it works in such a manner that it balances. So, this is the guiding factor for you, this Mahalakshmi principle, which works out. Everything you can say that is balancing, the equilibrium, and the wisdom. As the light of Mahalakshmi principle starts, the wisdom dawns upon you. But the greatest of all is the love. Love for God, love for truth. And you thrive on that love. Just you are there. So this Mahalakshmi principle is to be preserved and has to be always watched and looked into. And the blessings of Mahalakshmi are so many that I tell you, I cannot even tell them in one lecture. I'll have to give at least 10 lectures. But you yourself know what are the blessings of this Mahalakshmi principle is. The greatest is the complete self-contentedness. Absolutely self-content. You don't want to grab something, you don't want to run after something. It's just self-content. You don't want any publicity, you don't want any comfort, nothing. You are comfortable in your spirit. This is the greatest blessing of this Mahalakshmi principle. And if that is so, then why not we look after our Mahalakshmi principle and forget about the rest. Last of all, when it enters into your brain, then the Virata is manifesting and you become collective. Absolutely collective. Such a beautiful thing is to be collective. There was a girl who went to Sicily and she was in a restaurant eating something alone, and then she looked at somebody else and that girl also looked at her, and this one got up and came to her and she said, they were not bearing badges. They said, have you been to Sri Mataji? Yes. Have you been? Yes. We are Sahajogis? Yes. And then they just embraced each other with such joy. In a far-fetched place somewhere in Sicily, in some restaurant, imagine. They just got lost. The feeling of oneness, the brotherhood, the friendship is so great and so joyous. You don't then consider from what country you are, from where do you come, what is the color of your skin, or what is the religion you had followed, what your parents are. You just enjoy meeting people. This friendship, this joy comes from the same Mahalakshmi principle when she enlightens your Sahasrara. In the Sahasrara you get this feeling of the whole. And the feeling of the whole is something so great. Individualism people talk, but it is against the principle of whole. Who do not know the whole, you see, talk of individualism. This individualism, which has worked all kinds of dangers for us now, we have to know that we are one with the whole. Of course, we are individuals in the sense that we have different faces, different clothes, different living, different relationships, but we belong to the whole. And this Virata's feeling that we are part and parcel of the whole gives you complete peace and complete protection. You never feel that something can happen. No. Some accident will take place, all right, will take place, but nothing will happen to me. I am a surgeon. So many people have gained like this by allowing themselves to be completely looked after by this Mahalakshmi principle. Just surrender to the Mahalakshmi principle means that you give up your ego and you give up your conditionings. You give up both the things. Just surrendering to your Mahalakshmi principle. That's why Mahalakshmi is so important. May God bless you all.
Facciamo namaskar ai piedi di loto di nostra madre, ci alziamo la kundalini, ci diamo i 7 bandhan e rimaniamo alcuni minuti in meditazione.
We can do namaskar at our mother's lotus feet, rise kundalini and give 7 bandhans and remain a few minutes in meditation.